What up, Dokkanners? With part 1 having now been around for over a week, I'm sure some people are wondering when part 2 is going to be starting. I honestly think we're still going to be getting more content in part 1 before we jump into part 2, because there are a few details that have not been fully resolved yet. But this video is just going to be going over what we know, what we could potentially see coming up. And as far as the dates go, normally for these like major celebrations, what's been happening is like for part 1, you have the start celebration date, and then the banner drops around the same time. But then part 2, something that a lot of people don't like, is that it typically takes about a week for the banner to drop into part 2. So like we'll start part 2, there won't be any summons, but after a little bit of time, the banners would drop. Things might be different this time around. So let's discuss all of it, starting with the tweet here from Rick. So data download on July 16th JST, which means July 15th for me in my time zone. We know this because LRTN's prime battle will go back to its usual stamina cost. So this is the first date that we will probably get something interesting coming up, July 15th. So if we look at the Prime Battle campaign details, this was how long this was going on. So there has to be some sort of data download or some sort of, database change in order to move the stamina cost back up to its normal value. So during that time, they might also add other stuff in a data download. So that is the first time that we can expect something. New content likely on July 17th, 1 a.m. GMT. That would basically constitute July 16th, 6 p.m. PDT my time, aka 1 hour after Global's daily reset. This is when the home screen banner for Team Battle event, for the Team Battle event from the countdown ends. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about here, let me switch over and show you guys. This is the home screen banner at the bottom. This is probably one of the most ignored parts of the user interface, because I mean, why would you look down there? You got other stuff going on here, but these things are constantly scrolling around, right? So some of these things are permanent, like the Master Roshi one, but everything else is essentially the new stuff, right? And so these new things are time gated because they're not around all the time. Like this one is around, but something like, the banner. Oh my God, the Frieza event's still here. Actually, wait, we had some missions recently for that, so that actually makes sense. But yeah, this one is around. We've got the Extreme Z area. We've got some stuff that are more catered to the Global Dokkan celebration. These will obviously go away when the celebration is done. But with the Perfect Cooperation Team Battle event, obviously we're going to be getting more stages for this, so they have to update the banner, right? So this is going to change to something else. So when that changes, that is likely when we're going to be getting new content. And also, don't forget, we still have to complete 2 more missions. I made another video talking about this, but Ignidex, one of our Dokkan data miners, found out that one of those 2 mystery missions has to do with the Perfect Cooperation Team Battle. So at the very least, this has to be happening before part 2 even starts, as these are all part of the part 1 missions. It would be nonsense for this to start as part 2 is underway. Also, if this were to drop, there needs to be at least like a couple of days for people to even do this in part 1 before jumping into part 2. Even though the missions go away at the end of the celebration, you still have to have enough time dedicated to part 1 missions to do it. So one of these is the Team Battle Perfect Cooperation. There is another event entirely that we don't even know about, an unknown event with ID 1724 that would be happening at some point. That also needs to happen in part 1. The general golden rule when it comes to celebration durations is about 2 weeks. So since part 1 started around the 6th of July, that means 2 weeks later would be around the 20th. That's the general rule. So if you ever are curious, hey, when's the next part going to start? Just go back to the start of the celebration, add 2 weeks. Roughly around there is when we would begin. Sometimes there are situations, extreme cases, where some of the celebrations go on a little bit longer. Sometimes Dokkan festivals will extend past 2 weeks and go to 3 weeks. We had that. Normally we get that in November, and I think we also get that in April. I think we had that actually this time before Global Dokkan celebration even started. We had the celebration, I think it was the TN celebration, went on 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which was horrible. But that does happen from time to time. So that should help some of you guys, keep the pace going. Let's go to the next point here, and that is the possible start time for part 2. So when I was looking through various hints to see what could potentially give us a clue as to when part 2 starts, I was mainly looking at this. This does not actually, I don't think this is actually going to mean anything, but the Come Forth Eternal Dragon, Mysterious Wish Orbs, these very specific dates are where we will be getting extra rewards for logging in. So I thought maybe the 16th could be when part 2 starts. That way, part 1 would be this, part 2 would be this, maybe part 3 could be that, part EX could be this one, I thought. But then I asked my boy Proton. So big shout out to Proton for the assistance here. he showed me a bunch of banner end dates. So these are the home screen banner end dates. And then also he tweeted out something that's very useful. So the super dynamic, the Chozetsu dynamic, the super theme song that is playing in the home screen, this is going to be going on until the 24th of July, 1 a.m. GMT, which is basically the 23rd. So this is obviously a huge clue as to when part 2 is going to be starting, because they are not going to be jumping into GT or whatever theme if it's not super, with the super theme still playing. And if it is super, why would this only end at the halfway point, right? So this is a major clue, but I was thinking that this would just be when the banners dropped, because maybe when the banners drop, the song would change. But this is where, big shout out to Proton again for all this. He gave me a bunch of different times that I wanted to go over with you guys. The social media campaign ends on the 13th, 2 a.m. GMT, so that would be 7 p.m. on the 12th, 13th, whatever. Social media campaigns thing, that's not anything. By the way, if you guys haven't done this, you still have a day and a half, I think, to get some points. If you guys do want to know how to do this, this does involve using Twitter. I know some of you guys are not a fan of that, but check out my tutorial video for that. I posted that a couple days on the channel. This one is the biggest hint, this one right here, because this banner on the home screen, this scrolling graphic will be going away July 24th, 1 a.m. GMT, aka July 23rd, my time. This is the biggest clue, because let's just say we do jump into part 2 for the Global Dokkan celebration. This would not still be showing on the home screen. So my theory of part 2 starting and then a few days later the banner dropping is probably not going to happen. The precedent is other years, other anniversary celebrations, but if you go back to Worldwide 2024, this is what happened. Not exactly to a whole week, but part 2, the whole celebration started on the 27th of August. And then part 2 started on September 9th. And then part 2's banner started on the 13th. So 4 days between the start of part 2 and then the actual banner meant that there was a gap. So I thought that something like that would happen for this one, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because if it was, this would have probably gone away sooner. So this being here all the way until the 24th, at the same time that the song goes away. Actually, wait, 1 a.m. GMT. This goes away. Oh, this goes away a full day later. 12 hours later, half a day later. Okay, no, actually, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. So these are kind of falling on the same day. This, I think, is when part 2 not only is going to start, but the summons are also going to start. So people will be very happy to know that when the part 2 starts, the celebration, like the banner, will actually be there. That was something that a lot of people didn't like. And then going through the rest of these, this TN one, this is what we were talking about as far as the data download. The July 29th, oh, that's when the support campaign for the medal or for the Zenny goes away. I don't know if this could maybe be a clue for something else. Maybe like a new batch of easy A's or super easy A's. Maybe that's what this could be. Okay. Then we've got the special battle. We should be getting new stages for that. That is also being updated on the same day as this. Makes sense, because we have to get new events for the exclusive skill orbs, the EX skill orbs for the GT characters. So that means we have to have stage 3 and stage 4. And then this is the perfect cooperation that goes away on the 17th. So yeah, this should tell us all we need to know. The other clue is just looking at the super multi discounts. They're not going to have the part 1 discounts still ongoing while the part 2, you know, the fancy flashy new banners are out, because this would give consumers the best possible deal. They summon on the new banners with the crazy discounts. If they happen to get lucky, they could go back and take advantage of the continuous crazy discounts on part 1, and they would make a killing off of their summon results while not having to spend as many stones. They want your money. So while this is all cool, they're not going to have part 1 and part 2's discounts active at the same time. So this is another big hint as far as the banner's release time. At the very least, it will not be until after July 23rd, 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which it would never be anyway. But there you go. So those are the dates. We still have probably about, I am recording and posting this video somewhere around this block right here. So I would say that we would be expecting part 2 in a little over a week from now. We still got time. I do hope that we get some more easy A's and super E's in the meantime. I don't know if we'll get those announcements before I drop this video, but maybe if we do, then we have more stuff to look forward to. But yeah, so far the celebration has been a smash hit, so I don't imagine they're going to screw this up 5 days into the celebration. I think I just jinxed it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on what is potentially coming up for part 2. If we are summoning on the 23rd of July for the GT celebration, How many stones do you think you'll be able to put together by then? Are you going to be going crazy on the part 2? Are you looking forward to any other events that I may not have mentioned so far? If there's any clarifications, do check the comments, by the way. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you, the YouTube, know you want to see more of myself. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.